Good afternoon, people. Let's do some audio testing real quick. Beautiful. Got a brand new microphone. This is, what is this thing called? Thronmax M-Drill 1 Pro. Interesting microphone I came across in my research. I wanted to go with the Yeti and the Yeti Pro variations, but they're sold out, which is unfortunate. But here we are. I want to do a Ask Me Anything, if you would indulge me. This is the first one I've ever done. Let's see, what platform should we start with in terms of questions? Let's start with those who are waiting on standby for the stream to start. We get right into it. I'm a high school senior interested in the Navy nuclear program with the ASVAB scores to do it. Is there any technical job in the Air Force that I should be also considering? If you guys follow me long enough, you're going to notice a pattern. I've learned something as of late. The art of saying I don't know. It comes down to choosing jobs. A lot of times it's overthought. We overanalyze. It comes down to some basic questions. What do you value more, risk or stability? But there's many reasons to join the military. Obviously, everyone has their own perspective. But upon joining the military, you're going to realize that you will hit a point where you're going to want to have chosen something that you could possibly grow in the process of embarking on an Air Force career or Navy career. You want to be in a process that allows you to grow, which of course involves a little bit of risk, challenging that stability, challenging the comfort zone. I don't know. Take a chance. Take a chance. You won't be. And again, these questions are a lot of the issues that I see recruits dealing with is that you guys want to join with a level of assurance. You guys want someone to tell you, hey, this is going to be the right decision. You won't have any regrets. This is going to go right the first time. Nothing's going to go wrong. Unfortunately, I cannot provide that to you. I can't. The best I can do is what this channel is really about is wisdom. Predicting outcomes, knowing thyself, knowing yourself, being self-aware, realizing I value these certain things. I value my time, or I value, risk. I value traveling. I value, this or that, whatever. Some people are social. Some people prefer to work alone. Some people prefer to work with people versus working with things. That's something you need to discover about yourself. And then from there, once you discover those basic things, any other question after that concerning something very specific, again, that's for you to answer. If I told you Navy nuclear program, yes, of course, do that. I don't have to work that job. So that's something for you to discover, man. Start with yourself. Start asking the basic questions about yourself. What do you do in your free time? How does what you do in your free time, how does what you enjoy studying relate to this job? Is there anything that connects? Is there any correlation between your free time, the things you enjoy doing, your passions, and this job that you will have to do for the next 46 years? Hope that helps. What else we got? From Alexander, we have, I've been watching a lot of your videos for research as I'm preparing to enlist by early next year. I appreciate all your content. I appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. I see Love Koya finally caught something live. I see you. I have a master's in education, but I want to join the Air Force as an officer. I was told by a recruiter that I have to enlist before becoming an officer. Is this true? Love Lakoya. Go back and watch my video on uh, can I get the job I want in the Air Force. Start with that video. And then after you've watched that, this is the advice I would give you, assuming you've watched that video. So this advice may be kind of vague because that video is more in depth. If you don't like the answer you get from a recruiter, find a different one or believe the first one. You're currently in a place of negotiation where you don't have any leverage. They have a job that they're trying to offer to someone, to anyone who'll take it. And for you to go in negotiating is the wrong mindset. What you need to go in doing is asking questions. If you don't like the answer, then of course you have to go to, hopefully you can find a different recruiter that may have a different answer. The same thing happens in the doctor's office. People go to the doctor and they get the opinion of, you have this disease or whatnot. And then people go to a different doctor to get a different opinion because obviously, the practice of the medical practice, it's a imperfect science, they're not dealing with causation. It's more like inference or the correlation, of this cause, this stimuli versus this effect or this outcome. So to answer your question, I would try a different recruiter. Once again, the recruiter is your ticket in. So you're gonna have to find some recruiter to trust. So I'm not telling you guys that all recruiters are lying to you. That can't be the case. All recruiters are not lying to you, but at some point you're gonna have to believe one of them. Especially if you want to actually join, you're gonna have to believe one of them, at least one, and take their word for it. And if you don't like the answer, again, make move. Just play the long game. Join as enlisted. Join as an enlisted. There's plenty of programs that can get you to the next level if that's where you're trying to go. But don't be above getting your foot in the door. The enlisted side is simply hands-on. It's not the worst thing in the world, but just be mindful that there is room to move up. But of course, you have to stay focused on that. I would find a different recruiter just to bounce ideas off of. Just ask questions. But yeah, that's my advice. I did not feel like making a video today. I am tired, but here we are. You hear me? Jesse's journey, inquiring to the hobbies and intramurals. Why is this camera hunting? Sony? Is that what we do, man? Intramurals and hobbies on this space. Everything around this space specifically, clear and the surrounding bases revolve around outdoor activities, hiking, camping, ATVs, snowmobiles. That it's a lot of just outdoor stuff. Well, winter's upon us, and so now we're dealing with the issue of what do we do now. Obviously, a lot of the natives to this area it's just more of the same. I will have to definitely adapt because I'm not big on -50, -60 degree weather. So I'll definitely be adapting. I'll probably be booking plenty of plane tickets during this winter time. But obviously, not every base is the same. So it really just depends on where you are and what's available to you. I'm gonna answer a couple more from the live chat, and then we'll move on to those who have commented on IG and Facebook, and then obviously the community tab where you got time to prepare. Do I have context in cyber system operations? Yes and no. So my first AFSC was in the same squadron that cyber security, cyber surety, those typical career fields that fall under that umbrella. I was in the same squadron as them. I do know some names. They probably wouldn't be useful in this context. I'm not sure exactly what you're asking. I can kind of guess that you may be looking into that career field. I would DM you on IG so you can get a more specific question in there. That's kind of vague to kind of assume. And thank you to everyone, showing love on the 10K. I am. It's almost surreal because when I started this channel, a lot of people just looked at me weird, carrying around a camera and whatnot. Um, it's different. It's different. I'm grateful. 10K people, you feel me? 10K. Make sure I didn't skip anyone. All right, cool. Let me put this chat on slow because I'm not here for the foolishness. All right. Jesse's journey. Yeah, my dream job is something similar to Loadmaster as well. If you can get on a C17 platform, you'll be all over the place. What's a good job? Asks Wonder China. What's a good job for a 33-year-old introvert? That is that's oddly specific. Although I do appreciate the extra effort placed into that question. Good job for a 33-year introvert. Again, your question assumes that you're going to be able to choose a specific job. So please probably acknowledge that assumption and pay attention to the fact that it's wrong. The assumption is wrong. That you'll be able to choose specifically one individual job based on who you are, based on your makeup, based on the way you think. That would not be the case. There may be some exceptions, but obviously exceptions do not disprove the rule. In most cases, you will have to list jobs based on what you qualify for and what you want. And then I would add an extra variable of what the Air Force needs. Those three variables determine what jobs you get and what jobs you're able to ask for. So when it comes to introversion, introversion is not, and this is where my philosophy kind of kicks in concerning introversion, because I also consider myself introvert. I'm an extrovert with introverted tendencies, if that makes sense. If you think about it, YouTube is the almost the exact opposite of being an introvert. Why would I be on here talking to 21 people at one time, or trying to build a platform of an audience if I don't like people? I have introvert tendencies. It's a switch. It's a reaction to an environment. It's a reaction to a group of people. It's not a genetic makeup. Like, my parents were not a certain way. They bred together, and now I became an introvert, because of their genetic makeup, and my chromosomes, determined that I would, not like crowds or chaos or loud noise. No. Being an introvert is a reaction to an environment. So realize that at some point you're going to have to give a speech. At some point you're going to have to give a briefing. At some point you're going to be in a large group of people. At some point you have to take showers with a lot of people. It's the nature of the military. So don't let introversion, place you in a box of, I can only have this job or this job or this job because of my tendencies when I have an option. Because in a lot of cases you won't have an option, and you'll have to, adapt, assimilate. So once again, the answer I gave to the gentleman earlier concerning be self-aware enough to obviously, you realize that you have introverted tendencies. But then beyond that, what do you like? What do you want to do? What do you qualify for? Obviously, studying plays a major factor into, the jobs you'll be able to unlock. But also in terms of your free time, what do you do in your free time that indicates something you would like to do while working? I don't know. I don't know. That question, has false assumptions in there. So I would address those. But also just realize that, once you join the military, introversion is going to be something that it'll be reserved for your free time, so just keep that in mind. Money should not be a priority in life, says Sin Tzu. How are you setting up yourself financially for the future? Something to elevate up next of kin, the social economic ladder. Personally, I don't like the dynamic that I currently sit in, or I've currently sat in, historically speaking. When it comes to exchanging your time for money, that's one of the biggest robberies known to man. The need to wake up every day and go somewhere and trade your time for money. Um, it's a horrible exchange. Hence why I've developed a need and a want to develop other streams of income that change that dynamic slightly. This is one of them. YouTube being one of them. I get paid from YouTube. Um, I get paid to have an opinion. I get paid to provide value. It's why I don't have anything like I don't have a ton of marketing and sales pitches on here. If you provide value, people come. If you guys notice on my videos, I don't ask y'all to hit the bell icon, subscribe, make sure you don't miss a notification. No, people are gonna hit the bell if they want to see live streams. If they get tired of missing live streams, they hit the bell on their own. I've learned that there's a certain way that you can provide value to someone, and you get paid according to the problem that you solve. So I spend my free time finding problems that I am designed to solve, that I am capable of solving. Any problem that I can identify, any problem around me that I have the ability to provide, a solution to, there is a monetary, resolution available. So, yeah, outside of IRAs, Roth IRAs, TSP, obviously the investing in the stock market, I'm well diversified in that area. I don't do stocks like I don't play that. Oh, this is up, so I'm gonna sell, and oh, this is down, so I'm gonna buy. No, I don't do all that. I diversify. Warren Buffett strategy. Put money everywhere, so when you lose one pot of money, you don't lose everything. Yeah, I keep it simple for the most part. I'm not real deep into the stock market, but I do track index funds, mutual funds. Apple and Amazon splitting, what have you, or was it Tesla? Yeah. So yeah, I definitely track those things, but I'm not real big into moving money a lot. Just investing, saving, spending less than I make. That's probably the biggest thing. You'll notice that money tends to find you when you're solving problems and you're spending less than you make. God, there's so many questions. See, where were y'all when I told y'all to list y'all's questions? Because you know what? Just teach y'all a lesson. Nah. So I'm about to go to Instagram, and a couple people left questions on there, and then we'll come back. Sasha asks, have you considered or thought about being an officer in the Air Force? I've considered it. I've thought about it. I don't really want to do it. The only thing I want from the officership or the commissioning space is the money. That's it. That's all I want. Obviously, there's a major exchange that takes place when you become an officer. In a lot of cases, it requires more time, more responsibility. A lot more is placed on your plate. I'm not willing to have to deal with a lot of the extra stuff that comes with it. So yeah, it's definitely crossed my mind. I definitely see a value there. I definitely see a need there. But it's not something that I've actively pursued. How do you say her name? Let me try to go to here. Nika Triplet asks, how do you keep yourself grounded? Okay, so if this camera hunts one more time, I'm gonna get that new Sony S7C. This is pissing me off. How do you keep yourself grounded? So, couple things. When it comes to moment, keeping myself in a place of calmness, if you will, a place of peace, a place of being stationary, I use deep breathing. Deep breathing is probably my greatest asset. It's my go-to. When my desk is covered in paper, everyone's asking me questions. Emails tend to be just multiplying by the moment. Deep breathe. Get some oxygen to your head. Slow down. Just breathe. Hold it. Hold it. Release. You'd be amazed. You'll probably get a little lightheaded, but it's amazing. It's amazing. Deep breathing. Beyond that, I fast probably every day. It's rare that I eat breakfast. And it's rare that I eat dinner in the same day. I typically either eat breakfast or either eat lunch or either eat dinner. Never all three, and rarely two. I fast. I fast. You'll be amazed at the results you get. It's both therapeutic and it's natural because nowhere in history did people eat all day long. Just from the time they got up, have a muffin for a snack, and then for lunch we're gonna have a tuna salad, and then we're gonna have a midday snack, and then we're gonna have an energy drink, and then before dinner we're gonna have a pre-snack, and then we're gonna chase the kids around and give them juice and cookies, and then right before they eat we're gonna have a pre-dinner cookie, and then we're gonna have dinner, and then we're gonna have dessert. Nowhere in history do you find that. Animals in the wild don't do that. They eat and they fast. There needs to be a gap there for digestion. Um, Also, something I've been forcing myself to do, um, which doesn't really pair well with my routine, which routine is part of that as well. It's part of that grounding process, is sleeping. Sleeping. I get up very early, like you guys know, I get up very early. And something that pairs greatly with that is going to bed with enough time to sleep, because 2:30 comes around very quickly. Last night I went to bed around 11. Um, it's not healthy. So sleeping, getting enough sleep, and then having a routine is probably the biggest part of my grounding process. I need a routine. The time I go to bed, the time I wake up, what I do when I wake up, the drinks I drink, the water I consume. Uh, there needs to be some routine for your body to wrap itself around. So when something goes wrong, you can identify error. If you follow me on Instagram or Snap, I found a gym. It's about 150 to 200 miles away from my current base. It's Army base, and it's very similar in size, very similar in its mission. It's different, but it's similar. And so I went to that base, and I went to the gym. I was just exploring. I was having fun exploring, and I walked into the gym, and I couldn't tell if it was really open, but the door was unlocked. So I walked in, scanned my ID card, or whatever. And this lady comes around the corner, and she can tell that I'm new. She can tell that I've never been there before. She's like, "Can I help you?" And obviously, she kind of figured I was military. Cause I'm like, "How did you get on base?" But beyond that, she knew I was at a place. When you know routine, when certain fixtures, when you know what is normal, you can tell when something's wrong. And that's the purpose of routine, is being able to ground yourself in something that it's like science. The definition of science allows us and it tells us what is normally occurring in this world that we live in. Miracles do not disprove science. Miracles show that science is what's normal. This is not normal. You would not be able to identify a miracle, whether you're religious or not. You would not be able to acknowledge or even notice something abnormal if you did not know it was normal. Routine is that. That was a long answer to a short question. Woke Star 2. My God. Wait, this is not my guy, is it? I thought this was my guy from BMT. I was like, yo. But anyway, my guy asked, what do you say? Would you recommend Alaska to New Airman? Yes. You know what? Maybe it's the aperture that's just not. I'm trying to do F4. I don't like my microphone all the way in focus. Would I recommend Alaska to a New Airman? Yes and no. It's just like any other base, honestly. The only difference is that Canada is blocking you from the rest of the states. That's the only thing I don't like about Alaska, is that Canada is in the way. Get out the way, bro. My road trips are limited to this one state. That's the one thing I don't like. The rest of it, I'm about to experience my first winter here. We'll see how that goes. I'm already loaded up on my toe straps, and I got a new, all-in-one electric jack, electric drill, electric air compressor, all encompassing. I'm ready. You feel me? I'm about to get an oil change, about to get some snow tires. I'm not playing. You hear me? So yeah, it's definitely an adventure. It's something different to adjust to, but it comes with Air Force. It comes with the military as a whole. And this question broke my heart when I read it. This question broke my heart. It's from a Mrs. Kayla on IG. And she asked, do you still do podcasts? They were my favorite, but no recent ones. Ma'am, I will have to the best of my ability, every video that I've posted on here uploaded on Anchor tonight. Because there's nothing worse than like one of my favorite YouTubers or like well somebody I consume their content. I hate when I gotta wait like bro, why ain't you posting? Like so I'll definitely get that corrected for you. All right, what other platforms? All right, so let's check out the YouTube community. Let's see what y'all said on there. I only got 6 questions, but we're going to answer all 6. Do you plan on getting married while enlisted or waiting until you get out? Oh, well, why y'all? These some quality questions. Listen, people. This coffee is nasty. Well, I get married. I'm in the process of researching, which is the flaw of being me. Just like this microphone I bought, the camera I'm using, the phone I'm using, I like to study what I'm about to invest in. I don't like being surprised. It's why I like to hike with a full visual, horizon. I don't like things popping out on me. Someone called me a control freak. Maybe so. The same thing applies to marriage, applies to relationships as a whole. It applies to investing in other people. I don't like being surprised. Well, during my study, as I look around and I observe the world we currently live in, I see change happening. It is neither good or bad. It's amoral, if you will. Marriages don't seem to work from what I'm observing. Now with that, what does that mean to someone who's competitive, to someone who's willing to try? Stats, numbers, they're all open to interpretation. So what side do I choose? Do I choose to try and fail? Try and succeed? Or do I choose to completely refrain from the institution of marriage? I got a question from a guy. He said his cousin was deployed and he was about to he wanted to get married while deployed, and have what I believe the legal office will call a proxy, where someone will stand in his stead and get married for him while he's deployed. From what I've seen from a previous deployment, I don't advise it. Marriage is different. Here's what I will say. I 100%, 1000% believe in relationships, people. Marriage is a legal term. It has to do with taxes. It has to do with the way you get paid, your tax withholding, your marital status to the government. It's a contract. You're binding your social security number to someone else's social security number. Do I want to engage in that without all the information? Not at all. Will I? I don't know. It has nothing to do with being enlisted or being in the military or being out the military. Marriage is different. It's different. So we'll see. Time will tell. How long is the wait between Meps and BMT? Ask Young Breezy 60. The wait is however long it takes. I'm not sure. There's no real answer to that. It varies from person to person. It's not the best answer, but it's the truth. Brittany Davis asks, financial advice you learned? ? Do you invest or have side gigs you're working on that can help gain extra income in the military? Yes, YouTube is one of them. I touched on this earlier. Photography is one of them. Most of my clients are either free or full price. So that's typically how I charge when it comes to extracurriculars, doing videos or photography or playing music, because I do play piano. I either charge full price or I do it for free. I don't typically do anything in between. I don't like being disappointed. I don't like getting my hopes up. I don't like being surprised. So for the military, I do a lot of photography for the military, a lot of videos for the military, and I do it for free because it's not always about the end result. Sometimes it's about solving the problem and then having your name be associated with problem solving. But yeah, YouTube is a great resource that I use to make money, network. It's dope. It's fun. It's a creative outlet. All right, so I get nervous when I see the word scared in questions. Manny Praise 116 asks, I feel kind of scared or joining the Air Force of joining the Air Force rather. Should I join even if I struggle with insecurities like the way I look or struggle with anxiety? I really want to join so I can face my fear and grow in life. So, um, fear is never a reason to do anything. Fear is never a reason to not do anything. Fear is irrational. Fear does not factor in to any decision that you should be making. Fear only exists in your mind, kind of like tomorrow. Tomorrow does not exist anywhere but in your mind. It's either today, you know, that's it. The present. That's all you have. Tomorrow only exists in your mind. Yesterday only exists in your mind. Today is all you have. So insecurities, only exist in your mind. Most of the struggles that we have, they only exist in our minds. We struggle more in imagination than in reality. It's crazy. The amount of work that we should be putting in our minds on a daily basis would blow your mind. The time you should be getting up to invest into your mind, you should never be bored. You should never, have nothing to do. You have plenty to do. Invest in your mind. So, to answer your question, I'm not telling you to join the Air Force to fix insecurities or to fix whatever problems you're dealing with. The Air Force is a job. It's an arena. It's opportunity to solve problems. That's it. There's many things that can grow from the military. Many opportunities that exist in the military, but the military itself, the Air Force as a whole, the military as a whole, will not fix insecurities. It will not fix fear. Neither will Walmart or gas station or Walgreens. That's something you have to work on yourself. So I would say in the short term, yeah, join. It will change you. It will help you in certain areas, but those insecurities, that's something that you need to work on. You need to research. You need to dig into. You need to pay money to someone, to a professional, to someone to help you invest into yourself. That's part of the process. Believe it or not, it's part of becoming an adult. Is just a lot of unlearning, a lot of undoing, a lot of damage that was done that you never healed from, that we try to forget about. That's not the process of healing. I believe that's all the questions I got. Let me check Facebook real quick. Looking good. All right, let's go back to live chat. My guy Dilla Brooks. Hey, congrats, man. Appreciate the love. Felix Murr asked, how have uniforms changed? When I came in, I was wearing ABUs. Now I'm wearing OCPs. Not a ton outside of the material. These are definitely way more comfortable, in my opinion. What else we got? This scroll wheel on this mouse, if you hit it too hard, you'll pass 80 comments. Now it's gotta go right all the way back up. All right, so as these comments appear to multiply, if you really want your question answered, acknowledged, throw it in a super chat. If not, then we'll get to it when we can. All right, let's see what else we got. I don't know if you answered this already, but when are we getting another vlog? That's from Almighty Moreland. Young ma'am or sir, I'm currently editing a vlog as we speak. It's a mess trying to get to it. My creative process requires time, and it requires uh, focus. And so as I attempt to do that, I don't know. I don't know. But we'll see. Try to get something out. Hopefully the next week or so. But yeah, the next vlog is a New York City vlog. Um, I love New York City. For those of you who are curious, I miss the East Coast so badly. It's ridiculous. Let's see what we got. Super chat. $10 super chat from Red Pill Sailor. Yo, my guy, I see you. Stopping through the support. Much respect as always. Hey, appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you. I hope you're doing well in the Navy. I hope you're out here making moves. I know they probably got you in the bowels of a ship somewhere, serving all the way. Much love to you, man. All right, let's see what else we got. Would join the military at a later age make sense if you have options like going into IT or work an entry job in your field? And that's from Umar Din Kamara. I apologize if I jacked that up. My bad. Join the military at a later age is probably most beneficial to those who are older, mainly because you know what lies ahead in terms of what value you would expect to get back. I always advise older recruits to do it. The stability is definitely valuable when you're older, mainly because you still want to be taking risks when you're in the military. When you're older, you should not be in a place of comfort per se, but you should be kind of reaching for something new. Those things that you mentioned, related to IT or just technology or that whole career field, cyber, what have you. That definitely exists in the military, definitely in the Space Force as well. Take a chance. Take a chance. Military tends to be a great gateway into those different career fields. Tons of different programs that you don't even know exist. It's amazing the stuff that you will discover over time. There are so many different programs that exist in the military that almost places you in the civilian sector in where you want to be, dealing with certain programs. My commander talks highly of going to Portugal and these different countries. He's been stationed on top of a volcano. We call this remote here at Clear. He's been like really remote. Working with 8 people on top of a volcano. In the middle of the ocean somewhere. So there's plenty of opportunities. There's plenty of different places that you can be stationed. Opportunities and networking. Platforms available in the military. You just have to be available. Ask the right questions, the right timing. All that factors in. And then your effort needs to be on 10. You need to be good at your job before you can ask for more. It's just something to think about. Jerry, again, I apologize. How did it feel right as you were about to ship out to basic? I'm not going to cap on this live stream. You hear me? I was at my friend's house, Clarksville, Tennessee, and so I got it wrong. I thought that I was supposed to ship out on Tuesday, but on a Monday you go down to the hotel and then you ship out that morning on that Tuesday morning. So I sent my recruiter a text, Monday morning, like, yo, I'm ready to ship out tomorrow. I'm gonna be a great airman. I'm gonna serve all that. He says, nah, you're supposed to be you're supposed to be coming here. You're going to the hotel tonight, and then you'll ship out tomorrow. All that happened very quickly in the span of about 10 minutes. And it hit me like a ton of bricks. Like all the plans I had for this Monday, like I was gonna go make my rounds and go get some coffee and kind of relax. But obviously, this is my last day in town. Turns out I'm leaving in the next 10 minutes, next 20 minutes. I called my boy. I was like, yo, come scoop me, take me to the recruiter's office real quick, and drop me off because I wasn't ready. Loaded up my car, parked it, and that was that. I'm not gonna lie, I had tears in my eyes the entire time. It's one of the most frightening yet exciting moments. of a step that large of just being uprooted from a place that I was so comfortable in. I was in a military town. A lot of people knew me. I had, plenty of friends and gyms to go to. Like I was comfortable. I liked it. I made great money. You know, I was comfortable, and I said, no, I'm gonna uproot myself and go, to the military. It was one of the most difficult decisions I've had to make. I'm grateful I made that decision. I'm grateful I actually went. I'm grateful for those tears that were in my eyes. I was looking out the window and, just, bro, what are you doing, bro? Like, I'm glad I did it. It's definitely not an easy decision. So I definitely don't look down on people who, have their moments of, doubt and, that they're not sure that they want to do this, not sure if they should make this decision. It's not an easy decision. I'm right there with you. But it comes to a point in your life where why not? Why not? What do I have to lose? Do different bases teach different jobs? Yes. Different bases have different missions typically. Um, Geographically, you'll have let's take Alaska for instance. If you know your maps, if you know your your global locations, you will realize that we're close to other countries. Um, you can probably guess what our purpose is being that close. Um, Depending on where you're at, depending on what your job is, depending on where that base is located, depending on what the mission of that base is, there you have the purpose of that mission or the purpose of that base, and then the jobs that fall under that typically. But there will be some career fields that are just found everywhere. Finance is one of them. Personnel is one of them. Admin is one of them. Services typically is one of them. Security forces is on everything. It's everywhere. It has to be everywhere. So yeah, different bases will teach you different things. Different bases just they provide different services to the greater purpose of the Department of Defense. Was good, Lightning. New to the channel was good, man. I graduated college in May. I want to go to BMT in May. When should I contact a recruiter to begin the process? ASAP. Tomorrow. Immediately. Send an email, call, leave a voicemail. The only purpose to waiting is because you're preparing. That's the only reason why you should be waiting is if you're preparing. And preparing should not take years. Just set a date. Prepare, set a date. What is my job? Says Nico. What is my job? My job is finance. My AFSC is finance, 6F. My current position is I'm a resource advisor for Clear Air Force Station in Alaska. It's a space base. So technically, I work for the Space Force. If you look me up in the global, uh, I fall under Space Force. So yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I work with a lot of space professionals, if you will. But yeah, my current job is to manage the budget of the base. It's probably the tallest drink of water I've had to engage in since I've been in the military. It's definitely something new. It's a lot, but it's a challenge. It's a challenge. I did not go to school. I don't have any credits towards accounting or budget or what have you, but I learn on the spot. It's definitely a challenge, but I'm up for it. I'm competitive, and I'm glad I got the opportunity to do it. It's not given to everyone. It's a good question from Justin. How weird is it for you to personally knowing you help so many random people move forward in their lives? Justin, to be honest with you, I don't, to keep it 100, I don't notice it until I meet somebody in person. As I see all the usernames, you know, I can't connect with you. When I see a ton of DMs come in all at once, 20 DMs, all asking very vague, similar questions. I get a friend request from random people. I don't feel the connection at all. When I get an email from random people saying, "Hey, I need help," I do my job, but I don't feel a connection with you. There are a couple ways that I feel connection, and I try to practice this as of late. Is doing video chats with random people, phone calls with random people, trying to full or lastly meeting someone in person, which usually happens at random, where I'll be at a location and somebody will recognize me, and it's now that is the greatest feeling when it comes to the YouTube platform, is when you're just out and about minding your business and a random person will yo, and you always notice because they have that same look. They just, hey, are you that? It's the most amazing feeling. 100, 100. Um, YouTube. A lot of people hide behind YouTube as if like the a celebrity thing. It's not that deep. 100. It's not that deep. You look at the screen right now. I'm just looking at my monitor, sitting in my room. Just got to work, tired, about to go get in the bed. I'm just a normal person that just talks to a camera. That's it. But when you actually meet someone in person, when you connect with someone on a video chat, and you hear their story, and you're able to ask questions, you actually get context on who this person is, and you learn their first name. And it's not a username. It's not just some random group of letters together. You actually connect with someone who has a background, who has a family, who has pets, who has all these different hopes and dreams. That is where YouTube really kind of hits home. So I mean, this is great. This is how you connect with. This is how you get to those other areas. But um, I don't take it lightly. 100. I do not take it lightly. Um, it's an honor. It's a lot of ways why I started YouTube. I'm a huge fan of Gary Vee, and he always talks about providing value, giving, 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 and by doing so, you get what you want. If you're willing to give without expectations, I don't sit here and beg for money. I don't sit here and beg for likes or comments. I just give. I just answer questions. And if you're honest with yourself, if I'm honest with myself, I'm giving with an ulterior motive. Obviously, I want to build a channel. Obviously, I want to get paid. Obviously, I would love to be sponsored one day. I would love to be MKBHD of the military. Obviously, like there's a ton of perks that come with YouTube, but you still have to do the work. You still got to put the video out. You still got to answer the questions. You still got to answer the comments and go live and edit and do all that comes with it. But when I tell you it's rewarding when you meet someone and you look in their eyes and they say, "Bro, you helped me do this." That junk does not get old ever. Dope question. Dope question. Miss Pretty and Handsome asks, "How do you feel about the AFSC call services? I am scheduled to enlist this month, and I've been told that it's good field to get my feet wet. I can barely find videos on the job field. Thanks. I know more people in services than a little bit. I don't have any feelings about it. I know it's very necessary. Um, you don't notice it until it's gone, until it's missing, until something is off, until something's broken. Just like any other career field. Um, it's not the hardest job in the world from my perspective. A lot of people will say otherwise. Those who work in the career field may disagree. Um, I would say this: you may have more time on your hands than other people would have on their hands. Take advantage of that time. Take advantage of that time. And DM me on IG or Snap. I may be able to put you in touch with some people who are currently in that career field. I know one person who is an NCO. I met her when I was deployed. But yeah, just hit me up. I may be able to put you in touch with someone. What book that you've read? Ask Love Lakoya. What book that you've read has had the most impact on your life? That's a good one. That's my favorite book. It would probably have to be And this is the hard part. It's either my favorite book or the most useful book, because the two typically don't go together. Um, if I were to try to cram those two categories together, usefulness and enjoyment, it would probably be The Art of Seduction, Robert Greene. Yeah, that book was dope. But when it comes to actually utilizing, the teachings and the disciplines, probably no more Mr. Nice Guy. Um, that told me so much about myself. I'm like, it's just a huge mirror. Essentially, like, where you messing up in this, this right here. Usefulness, no more Mr. Nice Guy. Enjoyment and utility, Art of Seduction, Robert Greene. Any book by Robert Greene is dope, and that's on me. Any book by Robert Greene is dangerous, especially with the way I think. It's dope. Dope question. Did I take the PCAC confirmation test? I'm not sure what that is. I probably did. I can't remember. Nigel asks, what would you be doing if you never joined the military? Probably the same thing I was doing before I joined the military, which was driving school buses, charter buses, playing piano on weekends, um, going to the gym 5-6 hours a day. Not much would have changed if I didn't create change. Um, it's one of the major things about change, that you must create it. Otherwise, you will be stuck doing things that keep you comfortable. Which in a lot of that's where I was. I was in a place of comfort, and so it took me kind of leaving that comfort zone to just stay in a place of growth. And growth it is definitely uncomfortable. It's necessary though. What's your view on preparation for Socom? Asked Nick. Don't know. Never been Socom. The only thing I know about Socom is the video game and the theme song. Theme song, I believe I have downloaded. I actually love the theme song. The theme song reminds me of the military so much that I used to listen to it before I even joined. Every time I heard it, it made me want to join. But to be honest with you, I don't know. I don't know. Nothing wrong with saying I don't know. Greek 18. I meet with the recruiter tomorrow. Any last minute tips you could give? Make sure you're dressed appropriately. I'm not saying overkill, no suits, don't go over the top, but you should be dressed business casual, like an adult. And you should be going with prepared questions, not statements, not wants, not needs. Questions. Listen more than you speak. Who knows? I'm not against marriage. I'm not for it either. I'm for people. I'm for relationship. I'm for meeting simple needs that only humans can solve and provide value to. So marriage is an institution that involves the government. There's not many contracts with the government that I'm willing to sign. I'm enlisted. I've signed one already. I'm getting return on investment, more or less. But there's not too many other contracts that I'm just waiting in line to sign. Another. How many more contracts I got back there? Let me just bring all those. No, we're not with that. So yeah, just be wary. Just be wary. I'm not saying marriage is bad. I'm not saying marriage is out to get you. I'm not saying people are out to get you. I'm just saying look around you, study, research, and then be honest with yourself. What do you want? What else we got? We got $5 super chat from Rob Mash Nation. With an ADHD policy change in the next 2 years, because I was prescribed with condition when I was 11. I'm now 20. This is once again one of those questions I do not know. I'm one of those people that keep quite close to changes in policy and adjustments in the culture and the climate. I haven't heard anything about changes in that area. It's unfortunate. There's certain diagnoses that Obviously, I'm not a doctor. I'm not a professional in certain areas of that nature. But it's just certain. My philosophy does not believe, or does not allow me, rather, to believe in things such as ADHD. Now, in some ways, in some people's reality, it's 100% real. I don't know. It's not for me to make that decision, or a diagnosis or a judgment. It's not up to me. Um, I don't know. I don't know, but it's unfortunate that it does hold some people back. Um, there's another way. There's always a different path, a different detour, a way to get to what you want. Don't let the military be the only way that you tried and that you gave up. Find a different way. Find a different way. I feel like I'm skipping stuff. God, there's so many there's too many comments. Okay, we've been here for almost an hour. All right, so we'll do about 5 more, and then we'll call it a day. If you really want your question asked, throw in a super chat. Other than that, we'll see what we can get to. This camera will stop hunting. I command it. Sony. I don't want to have to get a Canon in here to replace you. A dual pixel is seductive in nature. Now, let's find some good questions. I've answered so many of these military questions. I want some good, juicy questions. All right, so I think I ran through a lot of those. But I'm tired of these military questions. Would I try the SEER program, the Survival, Invasion, Resistance, and Escape? I would try it. I would definitely engage. So the job I want to do, most of the jobs I want to do involve flying, which would require me to engage in that program. So I'm definitely not against it. I'm definitely competitive. In terms of I will volunteer to try it, whether or not I was actually cross training. Seems interesting. Excuse me. My goodness. Let's scroll down a little bit. Mellow Greenlight asks, is this a good time to join the Air Force with everything that is going on? Yes. If nothing was going on, it would be a good time. If the world was ending, it would be a good time. I'm not sure what people are waiting for in terms of the world to be perfect, but the world does not get perfect. It's never been perfect. It never will be perfect. We're not moving towards the direction of perfection. Do not expect things to just get better. Things may get better, but here's my advice: if you want something, go after it whenever you have the opportunity, which is probably now. If you're waiting for something to be perfect for you to engage in it, you'll probably never do it, and you'll be on another live stream 2 years from now, 3 years from now, 5 years from now, a contract from now, 4 years that just passed you because you're waiting on an open window. No, create one, create a door, create a window. If you want to do something, go do it. Turn the news off. It's not a benefit to you. Alexis G, where are you stationed at, man? John from Heaven, what do you think of security forces since it's such a common job? From what you've heard about it, would you recommend it? Security forces is one of those jobs where I'm torn because everything I hear about it is dusty. People use the word toxic is overused in society. Period. I'm tired of the word toxic. But For some people, it's reality. So, for what I hear about it, it sounds horrible. Sounds dusty. Some people like it. Some people dislike it. I want to try it. I was once deployed with security forces. Working in a security forces unit. Um, it wasn't bad. Wasn't bad. Um, I don't know. I don't know. I'm a fan of moving around, working with my hands. Not particularly guns per se. But I do like the fact that they do get to move around. Here at Clear, they ride around on ATVs and side by sides, and they patrol the base, and obviously they sit at the gate for a long amount of time. And when the weather changes, they will be out there while I'll be inside. So pros and cons. Pros and cons. I would recommend it, mainly because it's a low barrier of entry, and then you get to learn about yourself in the process of doing so. I would not tell you to shoot for the security forces. Like, I would not tell you to set your bar at, all right, here's the standard of security forces. I'm gonna aim for that. No, aim a lot higher. Obviously, um, many people qualify for security forces. So if you get it, make the best of it. Make the best of it. A lot of opportunities in security forces, from what I hear. You can be stationed just about anywhere. Just about anywhere. See what else we got. What's up, fam? Do you have any information on civil engineering? I depart for BMT this Tuesday. So I work closely with CE. There's a captain of office who obviously heads up that department. CE is also one of those career fields, along with security forces, that from a distance I'm curious about, just mainly due to the amount of movement involved. They're not sitting in a chair or a cubicle; they're out and about. But I also, I don't like how much they're out and about. Like, ideally, I would like to choose when I'm out and about, and then go back to the cubicle. Like, obviously, it would be nice to have both. Obviously, well, that's not the case. Um, Tons of different. You can gain a lot of experiences, a lot of different trades, certifications, from being in certain career fields. So again, make the best of it. Make the best of it. If there's opportunity for you to progress, for you to grow, take advantage of it. Sith Lord, could I go into the Air Force as a reservist, attend school one more year till a bachelor degree in nursing, and become an officer as a reserve or active? I would say yes. I'm not gonna say it's easy. Your plan sounds sound, if that makes sense. It sounds um like it should work, but nothing goes according to plan typically when it involves you know switching divisions of branches and whatnot. Um, that's your recruiter. That's your recruiter. Plan for that. Again, I always advise people to go active duty, and then it's a lot easier to go the opposite direction, as in going from active duty to reserves and guard versus opposite direction. Some people may disagree. Try it. Try it. Getting your foot in the door is the main thing. So if that's what your plan is, go for it. Go for it. A lot of people, go active duty and then get out, go to school and then come back as officer. It's very popular. So why not? So I was only going to do 5. I guess we'll keep going for a little while. What is my greatest accomplishment so far in the military personally? Personally, it was being deployed, living in a different country for 6 months. And because it was such a tame deployment, it wasn't anything it wasn't anything related. Like, it wasn't Iraq or Afghanistan. It was Abu Dhabi. a tourist country. That to me was the highlight of my career, was to be able to do that and experience that. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I'd do it again in a heartbeat. Nico, I see you talking trash, bruh. It's something in this coffee that it's not healthy. What do you think of the recent UFO sighting? Says DC B boy. Was it Air Force drones or real UFO stuff? First of all, it's classified. It's classified. Honestly, I don't know. And part of me likes to believe in things like that. I'm never one of those people that's just gonna shoot an idea down because it's not evidence based. Well, in this case, there's a sighting, but still, that there's no proof. There's no causation. It's just a good guess. But I'm not going to be the person that goes in search of stuff like that. Kind of like Loch Ness and Bigfoot. There's people out there that will go in search of stuff, trying to find stuff, just overturning rocks, trying to find a snake. That won't be me. But it's definitely interesting. When I was working at the Pentagon, and the Pentagon released footage of the UFOs, and people asking me like, "Yo, was that you? Did you see him walking down the hallways of the Pentagon? You know, carrying stuff and rushing in one direction?" No. I saw a lot of people at the food court eating Subway and drinking coffee. I am planning a video on doing what it was like to work at the Pentagon. It was definitely a cool experience. What else we got? I saw a super chat. We'll get to it. Patricia Reed asks, so I've talked to a recruiter for the Air Force, and he said I need to come in for a pre-ASVAB test. Since it's just a pre-test, should I go in to test to see where I am or study for the pre-test? Both. As quickly as possible. Both. The pre-test is going to tell you where you are, what you need to work on more, so you can properly prepare one good time for the regular ASVAB. So definitely both. What's your mic production piano setup? My mic obviously is the what's it called? The Max M01 Pro. Before I was just using Buds USB-C. I do own a Rode shotgun mic, several of those rather. I also have what's this? Samsung Go mic. A little portable one. This is going to be my travel setup. So when I travel, I don't have to take all this apart. This is going to stay as is. My A6500. It's going to stay as is. I won't be constantly moving that around. I'll just travel with my RX 100 Mark V. Strongly considering getting a full frame A7C. It's portable, small. I don't need all the 10-bit and all the fancy, the R5 and the A7. I definitely want the A7S3. But for my needs, for what I typically use, I don't need all that. My piano setup is simply a MIDI board plugged into my MacBook. I use Contact, GarageBand. I'm not huge on fanciness. I like what is functional, what works, what sounds good. Yeah. Yeah, my MacBook is singing. I hope the mic's not picking it up. Yeah, this fans is running. It's probably because I'm running 60 frames a second. If this ever shuts down, it's because of that. But the A6500 just is doing work. What else we got? Okay, thank you to people who ask non-Air Force related questions because like at some like I enjoy making these videos, but at some point it just gets, "Oh, what's the Air Force like?" I'm like, I, all right. Favorite type of music says Ted Nugget. Favorite type of music, favorite artist. Very difficult question. So I listen to music based on the moment. The purpose of music is to create a feeling, and so I have different genres. I have different playlists for how I want to feel in a moment. When I'm at work, when I'm trying to kind of just dig in and just get work done, I have a it's a country and rock playlist. It consists mostly of 70s rock. I love it. Love it. 70s rock, 70s pop, a lot of Michael Jackson, a lot of Hinder, Three Doors Down. What else we got? Journey, Queen. Yeah, and then that's that playlist. I'll also listen to that when I'm just traveling down the road. My country playlist, my Dan and Shay, my uh, Rascal Flats. I have that playlist for just certain environments. And then I have my people playlist where it's just African and Caribbean music and salsa. My Solid Star and my Malik Berry, uh, my Haitian music. That's one playlist for just when I need energy because drums will wake you up, especially my people. When you hear drums and percussion and rhythm, it gets to you. And then I have my vibes. I have my New York playlist where it's pure, just it's Khaled and it's her. It's who else we got up there? It's just smooth, relaxing harmonies. It's not a ton of movement. It's not a ton of loud, adjustments and changes and percussion and velocity. It's just smooth, straight to the point. It's vibe music. Then I have my gospel. So yeah, I have a lot of different, musics, variations that I enjoy. My favorite artist, the most listened to artist that I probably listened to in my entire lifetime would have to be Chris Brown. He's probably the most consistent of artists that I've listened to, and I've enjoyed. Chris Brown is that ninja. So yeah, him. But my favorite genre of music would probably have to be hmm, probably R&B. Probably R&B. Some good Anthony Hamilton. Listen, uh, Joe. Blackstreet. Yeah, some good R&B with a close second of country. Believe it or not, I love some country. The main thing I love about country is just the harmony. It's harmony. Some quality harmonies. I don't care what the words are, the lyrics, but it's the harmony. Best worst Air Force bases in the states. No clue. It's all relative. A lot of people hate Minot. A lot of people hate Cannon Air Force Base in Mexico. I would personally add Clear Air Force Station to that. I would throw Eielson Air Force Base on there. Um, I don't know. I don't know. What do I do with most of my free time? Um, I'm usually in the car, out and about on weekends. You will not find me in here. I'm either in Anchorage or Fairbanks. Um, road tripping, hiking, camping, exploring, exploring. You know, but yeah, well, my free time mostly consists of either um, before work, which is editing, reading, going to the gym, just going for walks, just up watching TV. Um, I love my free time mainly because I have the option to choose what I do with it, which could range from anything. I did a lot of fishing this past weekend, didn't catch a thing, but it's just fun to be able to go do something and not have somewhere to be. You know, what else we got? Which job moves up in rank fastest? That's not really a thing. Um, there's not really a rule to measure that by. It's based on your individual effort, and then obviously the rules and regulations of your individual branch and just how they operate with when it comes to promotion. So just be mindful of that. No wacky tobacco. $5 super chat. Keep your head up, G. Hey, much love. Much love. I don't know who's leaving all these hearts on here, but that's unacceptable. Is it easy to transfer from the Army to the Air Force? If so, how long will the process take? I'm not sure, but I know quite a few people who have done the change. My card holder, who I work closely with, he was former Army. He made the move. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I'm sure it varies. Maybe a couple of months or so. Try it. Try it. I would also add, just don't be in a rush. The grass is not always greener, despite what everyone may say. Oh, the Air Force is better than the Army. Who knows? Who knows? You may hate it. Tierra, what? Miss Osborne says, I'm 25, want to join, but people keep telling me I'm too old. They're lying to you, bruh. Make moves, do it. Age rarely comes in, and age is rarely a factor when it comes to certain decisions. Unless you're trying to have a baby, unless you're trying to climb a mountain, which even then, there's always exceptions to the rule. No, no, that's not a thing. You have time. You have time. That's a good question. Camera, do you feel like you are missing out on life while in the military? Not at all. Not at all. I feel like I'm living more so than a lot of other people who are civilian as hell. No. I don't know many black people who can say they lived in Abu Dhabi, Alaska. I was thinking the other day, I was looking at my shoes and I'm about to replace them because they're dusty. I'm like, these shoes have been in Dubai, the basement of the Pentagon, off-site radar site, which is you can't get to it. Like the places those shoes have been, it's amazing. And you have people who are civilian who again, there's nothing wrong with either side. It just comes down to a decision. But people who put too much emphasis on either one is too much. All right, we gotta start blocking people because I'm busy. You hear me? I'm busy. Yeah, I definitely don't feel like I'm missing out on anything. I'm grateful for where I'm at. I'm present where I'm at. I wake up early, and I go to bed late. I am present. I acknowledge the opportunities ahead of me. Things I'm able to accomplish, and things I have access to. And I try to take advantage of it. The best I can. Every day is a masterpiece. Every day is I put in effort. And that's really what matters. If you could go back in time, would you do anything differently? I was on a 4-year contract, not a 6. uh, what else would I do differently? I would network more in basic training. I would be more social in tech school. And I would go to New York City more if I was still in DC. I would discover brunch a lot earlier and go to brunch every weekend. Goodness. I miss the East Coast. Do you hear me? The West Coast is different, but it's just. What else we got? Tofu Bamboo Panda asks, I like hands-on work. Would a maintenance job in the Air Force be a good fit, or would I eventually regret it? Regret is relative to your research and to your quality of decisions. If you like hands-on, you'll definitely enjoy maintenance because that's what you'll be doing. When it comes to the regret part, that really just comes down to who you are, what you value, how much you researched, how fast you moved on something, how many corners you cut, if any. Yeah, it's not a black and white type thing where you have like, do I regret being finance? Not really. I don't like finance, but I don't regret my path to where I'm at currently. The things I do regret are the mistakes that I've made that I can't undo, that may have hurt people, that may have hurt my ability to proceed and to progress and to grow. Those things are obviously I regret, but of course you can't live based off you know mistakes. You can only deal with your present, your now. This video, what I'm focused on right now, is all I'm thinking about right now. Focus is definitely paramount to living in the past. If I get to the bottom of this list, I'm ending the video because there's so many questions. All right, here's something. Uh, Ruviz 1032. I'm gonna miss my ship date because I burnt my head. Initially told that I'd be dumped from debt, but my recruiter said he'll see what he can do. What do you know about missing ship date because of medical reasons? I don't know. I don't know. But this is what I typically warn others about when I hear they have a ship date. They just swore in, they're about to leave for Meps soon. This is the number one thing I always speak to. Has nothing to do with your specific situation, but just staying low, get somewhere and sit down, go see your friends, go see your family, go travel, relax, whatever, but stay out of trouble. Again, I'm not trying to focus on you. I'm not trying to, whatever happened in that situation. These type of things, yeah, that's what you want to avoid is any type of foolishness surrounding uh, messing up your timeline, messing up your timeline. So just be mindful of those things. To everyone else watching, be careful. As soon as you swear in, that's your signal to find a couch and sit down somewhere. Go run, go work out that day. Go see your friends, go have a good time, but don't do anything. Don't engage in activities that are going to follow you. Don't have so much fun that fun follows you for years. Just be mindful of those type of things. Um, yeah, Rubiz 1032. I'm not sure, man, or ma'am. Yeah, I'm not sure. Just stay in communication with your recruiter. Show them that you're ready. Obviously you can only heal at a certain speed, but you should be in constant in communication. Once, twice a week, 3 times a week. I'm just checking in, letting you know I'm still working out, still staying healthy. I'm eating the right things. I'm staying out of trouble. Let me know if you need anything from me. You should be in constant communication. They should know your name. They should know where you stand, how you feel. You should not be a burden. You should be someone who's showing effort. Effort. Put your hand. Okay. Who do I want to win the NBA Finals? So I am a Lakers fan. Pre-LeBron. Pre-LeBron. I don't like the fact that LeBron contaminated my Lakers with his flopping and his scapegoat passing. No. So as much as I'm a Lakers fan, I don't want to see LeBron get his rings on my Lakers. No. That is like it's like training wheels. No, you don't do that, bro. Keep your behind in the East Coast and do all that foolishness. At this point, anybody but LeBron. Anyone but LeBron. I respect LeBron. LeBron is a beast. I just don't like him. Like, no, bro. Get off my Lakers. No, no. Anyone but LeBron at this point. I was hoping Russ would get one. I wanted Greek Freak to get his. I'm like, Giannis, like, what happened to you, bro? Like, the Heat gave you buckets. All of a sudden, he's unstoppable during the season. That's that one spin move he does. No one can stop that one spin move. If he gets within 10 feet of the basket, does a spin move, he's going upstairs. All of a sudden during the playoffs, And yes, you got injured, but what happened before that? I don't know. I guess we'll let Jimmy Buckets and Hero and Nephew eat a little bit. I guess I don't know, but this is unacceptable. Not to mention, COVID just handed LeBron this. Like, of course he gonna win. It's unacceptable, people. And shame on y'all for if there's any bandwagons in these comments. Shame on you. Have you listened to WAP? Nope. Also on Grammys. Don't care. Oh, I like this one. If you could pack a bag and just go anywhere in the world, where would you go and what would you take for 5 days? I'll start with the bag. The bag will include mostly cameras, my MacBook Pro, a microphone for live streaming, iPad Pro, and then of course some drawers, shorts, some hoodies for the cold weather, some Nike gear, everything from shoes to socks to shirt, apparel. I rock with Nike heavy. And that's about it. My toiletry bag, bring my cologne, you feel me? You know, catch some wind, talk to people. That's about it. Where would I go? Where would I go? If I can go anywhere. Anywhere in the world, where would I go? Probably. So I don't want to go to Europe because, well, I would assume you're talking about right now, this time of the year. I probably wouldn't go to Europe just because of the temperature change. I'm not trying to deal with anything resembling fall or winter weather. Probably like Vietnam, the Philippines. That's a good question. South Asia, probably. Probably South Asia. South Africa. South Africa. I don't know. That's a dope question. I'm surprised I wasn't prepared for that. Now I have to get an answer to that. Because just in case it happens, I need to be ready. Will you get BTZ if you did honor guard and completed all CAF requirements? Those things alone will not get you BTZ. They may help you along the way to getting to that, but alone, not at all. You need to be a full package. The interview, if they're still having those, will be a major part of it. Obviously, you need to be studying for it, studying, the Brown Book and current events, things of that nature. That's what they're looking for. Is just a competent adult, to promote. That sums it up in a 5-second snippet. My dog Ray, what do you know of the trucking industry? Nothing. I did consider at one point. I was a school bus driver. I was a charter bus driver, driving the huge charter buses, across the country. I definitely enjoyed it. It's not the same as a semi truck or trailer, carrying cargo or what have you. I did consider at one point, but that stuff gets lonely. It gets lonely. So I definitely would not want to do it as, for a long term. Who knows? Who knows? Does the Air Force get BH at E1? Yes, you get BH at any rank provided you have dependents and or you're not living in government quarters. So if you're not in the dorms, if you're not living on base, and you have dependents, or both, you'll get BH. Kiki, I know you. What would you say is your favorite part about being in nature? Nature is where beauty originated. It's how we measure beauty is by what is natural. Color comes from nature. You know, imagination comes from nature. So it's peaceful. It's peaceful mainly because it's not forced. It's not in a rush. It takes its time, yet it still gets everything accomplished in its own time. Um, Everything is it's in its rightful place. It's its own form of order. It's perfect. It's perfect. Nature is perfect. It's not wrong. The ocean, you won't see me in there past, my ankles, but I love the ocean. Everything about it, the lakes, rivers, mountains, forests, you know, I have limits on how much I engage, but it's gorgeous. It's beautiful. And then the sounds, the smells, your senses engaging with nature, it feels perfect. There's nothing wrong. The smell of rain, the way rain feels, obviously winter has a lot to be desired, but everything else, amazing. Can you travel with uniform in the airport? Yes, you can even travel in uniform, although it's not advisable. Didn't know there was an Air Force base in Mexico. So I was referring to New Mexico, but you can be stationed in Mexico. I've been processed many of individual who were once stationed in Mexico. You can be stationed just about anywhere in the world. Anywhere in the world. There are very few limitations of where you can be stationed. The military is everywhere. And the U.S. has, assets everywhere. Everywhere. You can be stationed anywhere. I've been processed people from Australia, people from Mexico, people from Portugal, Hawaii. Like there's Russia. You can be stationed anywhere. Yeah, definitely mention to your recruiter about you being bilingual. Spanish tends not to be on the very highly needed languages, mainly because a lot of people just happen to speak Spanish. I'm almost fluent in Spanish. I can speak it probably better than I understand it. All you do is just conjugate the verb and the subject, all that. Like I'm able to speak Spanish probably a lot better than I can understand it. But yeah, definitely speak to a recruiter. There's plenty of opportunities that may be available. You just need to have the right question. Poke around, look through. Once you end up joining, look through the Air Force portal, and just kind of do some digging. Do some digging in there. You'll be surprised what you find. What do you see yourself doing in 5 years? What relationships, experiences, and opportunities do you think you will have? 5 years from now, I want to be. I touched on this earlier. My focus has shifted as of late to relationships. Um, as much as I enjoy my alone time, my ability to be free, to go where I want, to have no one to check in with, relationships are what grounds me in terms of I can be anywhere and have a good time if I'm with someone I enjoy spending time with. I've been to some dusty places, Nebraska, you know, Alaska, pretty much anything ending in A. I've been to some dusty places, but what mattered was who I was with in that moment. Um, that's something that stays with me. I don't forget moments like that where you realize the value of life is who you spend it with. So relationships are my main focus for the next 5 years or so. Obviously, I don't plan on dropping the ball on anything else. Like it's something I'll be adding to my life. But it's definitely something that I will be, adding to my plate in terms of something I'll be pursuing. Experiences, obviously, COVID is in the way of a lot of things I want to do, but it's my plan to go around COVID as much as I can and do what I want. Travel as much as I can, see places as I can. I want to be stationed overseas, so hopefully that can happen. Being stationed overseas is one of my ultimate goals. If I can get to Germany and be right in the middle of Europe, or get to Korea or Japan or what have you, I would love to be stationed in the UK. That'd be dope. That'd be dope. And obviously the vlogs will just flow. I'll be backed up as I am now, but I would love to just to live in a different country again. My first job was McDonald's, 875. What's good, Courtney? All right. Yeah, we finally reached the bottom. All right, so I'm gonna hit these last couple comments and then I'm out. Yo, Quint, listen, I don't know what's wrong. Keith London. What's wrong with the Sixers, people? Y'all got all the pieces. Even before y'all let old boy I can't think of his name. I think where'd he go? Anyway, you had all the pieces. You got the untalented point guard, 6'9" dude, can't shoot jumpers. Like, bruh, I got water for the NBA. You get paid how much to miss free throws and to miss mid range, and you can't pull up from this. I don't know. You're just tall at this point, but yeah, the Sixers are definitely disappointing, especially when they had Jimmy. They had the other 6'10" dude too. I don't know, but maybe they'll figure it out. They're trying to get that new coach, Antonio. So there might be hope. Yeah, Jimmy Butler is like so slept on. Owens, hey, listen, I had to though. I had to though. I appreciate you, James. Camera, yes, you can. It's actually kind of incentivized. They want you to do so. So yeah, that would definitely be a great asset to the military, and it'll make you look good in certain lights. So yeah, I mean, definitely, if you're doing it for the right reasons, by all means. How does Big Air Force compare to tech school? It's a lot more relaxed. A lot more relaxed. You come in, you do your job, and you leave. In most cases, you get in on time and you leave on time. It's not as structured as tech school. Tech school tends to be a lot of things planned for you. Your time is planned for you, and scheduled for you. Whereas I get up early. I plan my own morning schedule. I get into work on time. I leave work on time. I have my lunch. I plan my own lunch time for the most part, and then I get off work, and that's it. There's no GI parties. There's no formations. There's no group PT. In some cases, some squadrons still have group PT. Obviously, during COVID, there may be some adjustments. But yeah, it's a lot less structured, and for me, a lot more enjoyable. I hated tech school. Can you hit the gyms at tech school, go on morning walks, and go out night events, or is Air Force strict in those things? I'm not sure how tech school is operating now during COVID, but when I was there, yes, 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 yeah. It's not that restrictive. Obviously, just now things are changing, so it may be kind of unfortunate that some people are experiencing, the entry process, a lot differently. It's unfortunate. I believe Knox Reddick is showing love in the comments. Definitely check him out. William Sennett asks, "What was your why factor for joining the Air Force?" Sorry, new to the channel. If you mentioned it previously, I've mentioned it before, but I'll answer now. My why was I needed to create change. I was just too comfortable. I was in a place of comfort where, I had a set schedule of activities that were not, contributing to my growth, and so I was a pretty decent fish in a very small pond, and I needed change. I needed something that was going to push me, something that would allow me to grow. Um, and not saying that the Air Force does that, but it was an opportunity to introduce different variables into my life that would allow me to grow. The opportunity, the choice to make the choice to grow. Of course, in the civilian world, you have these same opportunities, but I needed something that was large. I needed a great jump. I needed a great push that would take me out of my comfort zone, take me from where I was, and put me in a completely new environment. Um, and also, a major factor was I wanted a family. Still do. I want a family, and I knew that what I was doing currently, the job I had, the environment I was in, the activities I was engaged in, were not conducive to me supporting a family. So I knew I needed more structure. I needed a more stronger foundation that I can build upon that, and that's what I've kind of built these last couple of years is the ability, you know, to build upon a strong foundation. Obviously, with YouTube being one of them, podcasting, music, photography, all these, they're really just hobbies, but those hobbies are well supported by a strong foundation, which is kind of the point. Corone King, go back and watch my video on the can I get the job I want in the Air Force. Go back and watch. Can I get the job that I want in the Air Force? You're in a situation a lot of people are in. You're in a situation that I'm in. Um, the military is a volunteer career field. You volunteered, so that means you're giving up a lot of rights. You're giving up a lot of choices. Um, it really just comes down to: are you willing to make the best of it and to execute on the options that you have available to you? Um, 4 years is not a long time. 6 years is not a long time in the grand scheme of life. Make the best of it. You can cross train. Keep your options open. Keep your head down. Work hard. You have options. So don't let this short span of time, relative to your entire life, you know, distract you, allow you to lose focus. You have options. You have options. Just maybe not now. You're in the entry process. Uh, take advantage of what you have available to you right now. Yes, I have TikTok. I had it when it was called Musically. I don't use it as much anymore. It's just kind of saturated. But yeah, I still have it. Just type I believe that my username is just Raymond Isaiah. Yeah, King, just remember you don't have leverage. You don't have any room to negotiate because you volunteered to join. So the Air Force is going to tell you, hey, you qualify for these jobs, but we need you here. Do you want it or not? And it really just comes down to, realizing I don't have leverage. The Air Force, the military has leverage. They have what I need. They have what I want. You know, can I play the long game? Can I negotiate long term versus for right now? You know, a lot of people are in that same situation. I've been in that same situation where you didn't have a choice. But again, you're volunteering to serve, so that sacrifice concept comes in. Um, Tough pill to swallow. Do you know anything about going to the Meps for a top secret clearance? No, I do not. But it's going to be something similar, just more in depth of just getting a regular security clearance. They're just going to ask you questions that they're going to probe your background, background checks, things of that nature. It's nothing abnormal. Exactly what you think it is probably what it is, just probably more in depth than what you actually think. Don't overthink it. Do not lie. Do not overtalk. Don't talk too much. Do not lie. Find the middle ground of those two things. I'm trying to get to the bottom of these questions because I'm tired. Uh, 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 uh. How did I lose 10 pounds overnight? The most famous question that I get on this channel, for for a little context, a little background, I was overweight in the process of going to Meps and just in the DEP program in general. Not because I was just fat, but because I had a lot of muscle. A lot of muscle. And to avoid having get my fat tested every single time I went to Meps or when I weighed in, I would take a laxative the night before, which eliminated water weight. Water weight. It's now by no means do I suggest that you try this. I don't think it's healthy. I don't think it's the right approach. I think you should lose weight, and I do advise that you lose weight the right way. I feel like fasting is a healthier option. Long-term discipline is a healthier option. But in some ways, I don't agree with all of the Air Force standards when it comes to weight and height, measurements. Of course, it's not up to me. It's unfortunate. It's not up to me. So to meet the standards, find a way. I'm not telling you to do what I did, but that's what I did. Water weight, lose water weight, go sit in the sauna. It's the same process. Sitting in a sauna, going for a run, not eating, literally fasting is healthy for you. It's good for you. Your metabolic rate increases when you fast. It does not increase. It actually decreases when you eat, small portions, when you cut down your calories. Look up Jason Fung, a lot of content on that. Also, removing fructose from your diet. Fructose. Your body needs, what's it called? Not sucrose. Sucrose is half fructose. Your body needs glucose. Every cell in your body uses glucose, but fructose is poison. It's the equivalent of drinking alcohol. It goes straight to your liver. Look up Hacking the American Mind. Whoever wrote that book, I can't think of his name. Dr. Let me get his name real quick. Hacking the American Mind. Dr. Robert Lustig. Look up his content. Look up his books. Robert Lustig. Dr. Robert Lustig works at University of San Francisco. A lot of good content. Who's to say they're wrong or right? It's just a thought. Something to consider. All right. Any thoughts on Donald Trump versus Biden debate on Joe Rogan? I have no comment. No comment. Actually, I do have a comment. No, I'm capping. If you won the lottery tomorrow, what would you buy and why? I will buy my time. You hear me? Let's just peak the audio. Buy my time. Quitting. No, I'm just playing. Yeah, I'll buy my time. I would probably put my money into I have a structured settlement. And I would pay myself the rest of my life. Simple as that. I would give me a nice little apartment and probably in New York City. And probably one in every country, that has yeah. I'll buy my time back. I'll buy my options, my ability to come and go as I please. Simple as that. And of course, I'll stop at the car lot and do some damage. Probably gonna run up on the Ferrari, establishment. Come away with a 458 or so. Go pick up probably a Range, a Land Rover, something of that nature. But yeah, I will play Grand Theft Auto for the rest of my life, minus the violence. Is being an introvert a bad characteristic to have in the Air Force? No. It's not good either. It's neither. It's a reality. It's a mindset. It's a reaction to an environment in a single moment. Being an introvert is not a life sentence. Neither is being an extrovert. It's a reaction to your environment. If I'm in an environment that's chaotic, there's chaos everywhere. There's kids running around. There's no order. I will react in an introverted manner. It's a reaction. Has nothing to do with your career or where you work or what you do every single day. You would not tell from this video or this live stream that I have introverted tendencies, But in certain moments, I am, and in certain moments, I'm extrovert. In some moments, I'm obnoxious and I'm loud and I'm rowdy and I'm aggressive, and you will hear me. And then there's some environments where I'm quiet and studious and I'm inquisitive and I'm curious and I'm quiet. It just depends. Command posts. I know a lot of people in command posts um, work around the clock. I know one person specifically I met, um, or rather, he followed me on YouTube, and I met him at a job fair. He was at a table representing command posts. That's where I met him. Hit me up on IG or Snap. I might be able to put you in contact. Tell me what you think about broadcasting jobs. I wish I could get that job. PA, public affairs. I know somebody in that job. Um, she seems to enjoy it. Working with cameras, working with broadcast equipment. Making commercials, making content for Air Force type platforms. I wish I could do it. It'd be dope. It'd be fun. Long-term goals and ambitions. I appreciate the quality and content value you add to the world. Keep it up. I appreciate you, CJ. Long-term goals. I want to be happy. Simple. Nothing deep. Ambition wise, I want to have options. I want to have options. I want the ability to choose in just about any area of my life without restrictions of time or resources. I want the ability to choose. Now, those things broken down to daily actions look like the way I live now, where I get up early and I try. I try. I try things. I explore new avenues. I try new things. I engage with my environment. I push myself. So yeah, to keep it simple, to keep it short, that's how my life is kind of summed up in terms of my ambition, my long term, broken down into my daily actions. What I do daily should add up to what I want to achieve long term. They should match. Your actions should match your goals. What about stuttering in the Air Force? If you're referring to whether or not it will hold you back, it will not. Um, at one point in my life, I was going to a speech therapist. I had the same issue. There will be sometimes, you probably noticed in a lot of videos, that I stutter. Now what? You go through it. You try. Breathe. That's one thing I've had to use to deal with that stuttering issue is breathing. Breathing, slowing down, think, and then speak. That's all the questions. Let me check Instagram real quick. Make sure nobody came in late. We got a couple. Or just one, rather. My boy, Rashard. Shout out DC. Shout out the East Coast. Shout out DMV. Nuggets or Lakers? I want the Nuggets to win. Jamal Murray is a beast. Lakers are probably going to win, though. Nuggets are young. The Joker is one of the most awkward, weird NBA players I've ever observed in the wild. I don't understand how he's effective. The dude has a 2-inch vertical. He doesn't move vertically. He doesn't move. But yet he's effective. I don't know who's guarding him. Dude has, a bag of LeBron when it comes to passing. I don't know. But yeah, I'm hoping the Nuggets come out on top. But LeBron probably will. It is what it is. That's what it is. But yeah, that's all the questions. Let me check one more time on the community page. Shout out to everyone who tuned in. And once again, thank you to everyone who helped me get to 10K. I do not take it lightly. You hear me? I do not take this lightly. Anybody who cares what I think, why? I respect you enough to not just, if I don't know answer, I'm not gonna just, tell you anything. To the best of my ability, I try to find you an answer or put you in touch with somebody who knows. But thank you to people who have supported when this channel was just, making videos on my phone, before I was using microphones, before I even thought to plug in a lav mic into my S9, I believe at the time S9 Plus, or before that, the Note 3, or, before I even tried to increase quality, before I was, even doing vlogging content, when I was just doing, well, that's all I was doing was vlogging content, before I was doing advice videos or what have you. When I was just at A1C, before I had stripes in tech school, those who were following me back then, thank you. Thank you. I'm grateful. I'm grateful. 10K, we're different now. We're different now. So once again, appreciate y'all. Appreciate y'all. And I will see y'all in the next video. So it was good to your boy.